Hey there, so today we have another review. This is a beer from Firestone Walker. This is Sunglider Golden Lager. So this is actually produced for Earth Day. What do we got going on over here with the Earth Day stuff? So this has a locally grown 6-row barley. They also use local Admiral Admiral floor malting, so kind of like a more traditional malting process. And then they also went to Oregon Goshi Farms to get Willamette and Hallertau tradition. And then actually check out the website. There's a bunch of information on there. They got all the ingredients, 3470 yeast. They also have a spirograph. Obviously, the spirograph is different for hoppy beers. Hoppy beers is going to be like, tropical, pineapple, citrus, da, 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 da. This one's more like for lager. This is a Helles lager, by the way. So it's going to be like malt, biscuit, ester profile, blah, 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 blah. So let's try that guy out. 5%. Thank you so much, Firestone Walker, for sending this out. Golden lager. Yeah, they do. Yeah, it's nice. They don't even call it Helles because, who knows what a Helles is, right? At least like non-beer Greeks, right? So beer comes in a light gold color, really nice appearance on this guy, nice clarity on it, fluffy white head. Oh yeah, reminds me a little bit of the Stevo they sent me. Just like really nice, clean execution on the malt. A little bit sweet, a little bit of that tea action, but just like that's just a good smelling lager. Like, ooh, there's a little bit of stinky stink too. Maybe a little bit of sulfur, but I get a little. It's not acetaldehyde, but a little bit of like fresh cut apple, a little bit of that kind of ester thing going on. Just a really beautiful, just pure grainy malt character. I would have full on guessed this was like environment pills or malt or something, right? It's a very specific kind of aroma to it, but yeah, maybe it's a little bit different. So it's not quite all the way there, but I would have guessed this was a traditional German beer. It just like has this kind of like aroma of like proper German Helles, Bietburger, Radeburger, stuff like that. But yeah, it's got a slight edge of difference and to it that like I guess knowing it, but you can sort of tell it's like not exactly quite to like actual German ingredients, because like if you're gonna make a German Helles, you'd use environment German malt, you'd use German grown noble hops. Instead, these are sourced locally from California and Oregon, right? Cheers. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's certainly a little bit different. So in palate, it's a little bit different than like straight environment or something like. The maltiness, dare I say, has a little bit more like a little bit more sweetness to it. Honestly, leans a little less. You know what? It's just different. So I'm just used to like the malts that make traditional German pills and Helles. Strangely enough, it has just a little bit of this kind of like macro lager thing, just a hair of it, but instead, nice maltiness and graininess moving throughout the palate. Yeah, there's a little bit of this kind of like almost like skunky / like light struck edge to it. Obviously, it's in a can; it's not light struck at all, but the flavor profile. And I was like smelling a little bit of this appley thing. There's something in there that just has a hair of this kind of like macro lager thing, which is quite interesting. Not necessarily a bad thing, it's just a little bit different. Yeah, there it is. That's so weird. Yeah, again, I mean, it's in a can. It's not light struck, but it just has this kind of like, right? Like you drink macro lager, a light struck macro lager, you just have this kind of familiar kind of flavor to it. And I didn't smell light struck, so it's obviously not light struck, right? But you guys sort of can get what I'm saying. Flavor association to beers that are macro and light struck. Yeah, on the back end, there's just this kind of like lightly dirty macro thing. Oh, interesting. Not a bad thing. It's just different. Not everything has to be like, not everything has to taste like German Helles, right? Oh, that's good. Yeah, obviously, boy, prefer this Stevo they sent me, but it's cool. It's nice trying something a little bit different. I think it's a very good lager. Yeah, this would be a crusher if they. I mean, obviously, this is like more boutique with their ingredients and stuff, but this really tastes like something that they could get away with selling as like their kind of take on American light lager or American lager. Firestone's version on it, like not very hoppy, right? I didn't really mention any of that. Not really that bitter. Just like and then the malt character is not that strong. Sometimes Hellas does also have some hop character to it sometimes, but also relies a lot on like almost like a heavier malt character, despite being a light lager, a pale lager. Sorry, color wise, pale lager. This doesn't rely on the malt as much. It's not as heavy on the palate, if that makes any sense. Because Hellas generally has just like this impact of like maltiness, like full maltiness that is two style, right? Good stuff. Let's go with that's good beer. 87, sure. Sunglider from Firestone, thank you so much for sending this out. That's a cool, nice can, right? That's a nice looking can. I like that can. Cheers, let me know what you think. Later. And also, by the way, thank you for sending this one. From what I understand, this is the limited guy. So it's like specific to like the propagator and the tap rooms and stuff. I don't think it's getting distribution, but thank you so much, Firestone, for sending this out. Cheers, later.